Hey, hey, it's Saturday night, right?
It's Saturday night.
It's Saturday night. Chumley is over here trying to photobomb.
Eli's here. 7 minutes till Charlie is here.
Hey, hey.
John's here.
Eli, how's it going? John, good evening, good evening. Boy, it's going to be a busy night for old guy here. Kind of got a lot going on. I'm going to make cannoli from scratch. I did have to make one part of it last night, or start it anyway, and that's the mascarpone cheese. It just, you can't do anything but give it time, so. But other than that, everything I'm going to make it tonight, and I'm going to go on that. Of course, the manicotti, and of course I'm going to make that as much from fresh as I can. I'm not going to make the cheese, but I'll make the marinara and do a cheese blend and so forth. I hope everybody's had a great week. It's been okay here. We've had a little bit of snow, and it's not been a horrible week. It's just been a week. So I'm going to get these tomatoes blanching right away. All right. So manicotti on the menu with cannoli for dessert. What are you guys having?
Eli says, just wanted to give you a shout out for putting me on the Dreadlock holiday. Been getting heavy play on my Bob Marley rotation.
Oh, nice, nice. Yeah, that's 10cc is a cool band. They, if you listen to some of their albums, you'll understand why back, in their time, a lot of their songs didn't get any airtime just because they were so different musically from what other people were doing. They did have some good, some big hits, and that's what carried them through. But they're, the other songs on the albums, they're different, but they're also really good. So I'm glad that that you like it. It is a cool song. All right.
Natalie's saying hi on her lunch break.
Hi, Natalie, saying hi on her lunch break. Woohoo! Glad you're here. Glad you're here, really. And I still may be here when you get off work. I got a lot going on tonight. A lot. Going to make the cannolis from scratch, and I'm getting started on the sauce right now. Just so I can get it out of the way and it has time to kind of do its thing. And speaking of doing its thing, I'm going to start getting some veggies ready to put in it.
John's having pinto beans and cornbread.
Pinto beans and cornbread. Hey, I miss, Taco Bell changed their menu a while back. And one of the things I do miss is just the pintos and cheese. And I thought that it was kind of ridiculous for them to take it off of the menu. You're always going to have pinto beans and cheese at Taco Bell. They won't, that's... Anyway, because I did like that.
Yep.
All right.
Like putting that green sauce on it, too.
Yep, the green sauce. Yep. They need to bring that back too. They do. I do see it occasionally in packages, but it's not the same that it used to be. It's a different recipe somehow.
Natalie says, I love the pizza review videos you give.
Oh, thanks, Natalie. Yeah, they, Arthur and Matt are really cool dudes, and they've invited me on a couple of their projects, and it was really fun to have them come with and do the pizza reviews. And as a matter of fact, We are going to do more come this spring, and we're going to explore the best burger within a certain boundary of, our part of the state. Of course, I'm not going to travel all over the state and look for the best burger, but along this one highway, kind of, is, where we're going to mostly explore. So that should be fun, but we're going to wait till the spring so we don't have to sit outside in the freezing cold when we're reviewing our burgers. So, and the only rule on that is we're not going to do any fast food places or chain, like McDonald's or Wendy's or none of that. What am I need? Oh, my little scooper thing. I forgot my scooper. You gotta be able to get these out of the water. How we doing here? That one's broke open real nice. This one's broke open real nice. Yep. Getting there. I'll give it another minute, and then I'll just give it a little tap with the edge of my knife, and it should just go. So let's space up a little
Natalie
bit.
says, congrats on 600 subs, by the way. I just hit 200 subs myself.
Well, congratulations, and thank you very much. Yeah, I'm pretty happy about it. There's no question of that. It certainly gives me incentive to keep going for it with my channel. And I got something I'm going to share with y'all here in a little bit later. But right now, I just want to concentrate on getting the sauce started. Okay. Let's give these a tap. There we go. All right. Got to use this same pan to make the sauce, so we're going to get this emptied out real quick.
Do me a favor and set his dish on the floor.
Hey, Chumley. There you go. Okay. Got a little bit of Charlotte. Oh, Charlotte. Not a very big one, but I like to use it in my marinaries. Looking forward to the spring. We've got plenty of snow this year, and I'm ready to start some spring projects that I didn't get to last year. That's okay. I got plenty done last year. I just didn't. Sometimes I want to do more than I can. So.
Funky Food with Dave's here.
Good evening, Dave, Paula. We are just getting some marinara going for the manicotti. I just blanched out some tomatoes, I'll pull the skins off here and just dicing up some veg.
Paula's here.
Paula.
On our channel.
Well, good evening, Paula, on your channel. Awesome. That's cool. I actually didn't really know you had a channel.
Well, I guess it's just her name, but
Oh, well.
it's her own.
Well, if she's got a name, she's got a channel. Cool. That's awesome, awesome. So I'm just gonna get these roughly chopped here real quick. A little bit more. A little more green pepper. I don't always use it, but if I got it on hand, I will. And I did, so I am. Whack, 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 whack. Alright.
So Natalie says, can you make crack chicken on the list too?
Cracked?
Can you put, yes.
Cracked chicken.
Cracked chicken is a chicken dip, she said.
We're going to write it down. And I'm going to say sure, just on the fact that I've never heard of that. Nice hot pan. I'm going to get these. I'll saute those just
On the list.
a minute.
Lisa's here.
Lisa, good evening.
Doing good. She asked how we're doing.
Awesome.
John suggested firecracker shrimp and mac and cheese.
Oh, that sounds good. All right. There's that. I'm going to get these, I'm going to rock those for just a minute. Let me toss this handful out. That looks really good. Here in a minute, I'm going to deglaze with some of this white wine. Salt. Come on. You know the little flap thing that you push down?
Shepherd's pie is already on the list, Dave.
So just write his name by it.
Okay.
And so 2 people requested that is basically what it means. Now, true shepherd's pie with lamb.
He said traditional.
Well, that's traditional because a lot of American people make it with ground beef, which is almost like a shepherd's pie, only it's not. It's just it's wrong beef. Technically, you're supposed to use ground lamb
With lamb.
to make a true shepherd's pie. Otherwise, it is a cottage pie if you're using ground beef. All right, those are looking good. Got them translucent. A little bit of vino in there. Oh wow! That aroma that you get right away after pouring wine on nice. Oh no! From the veg, I can't even speak. It smells so good. All right, let's get these tomatoes peeled. They're gonna be hot. I'll get the ends cut off, get them crushed in, and as soon as I get done with that, I can just kind of set this thing on really low and start with some cannoli. Let's get the cannoli going. This was kind of a project I needed to get out of the way. Let's just do it kind of thing.
Lisa said that she had a can of ravioli for her dinner tonight.
Can of raviolis. Were they like a store or off-brand, or were they Chef Boyardee, or what's the other one? Franco-American.
Yep.
Just curious. Every once in a while, I'll get a hankering for something like that. If I get canned stuff, Spam, and Dave, yeah, you know, I gotta look for that spicy. I like that video. And for those of you that do not know Dave or have not checked out his channel, please do. Please do. This old guy, can you drop a link in for that?
Maybe.
Well, we'll see if we can do that. Dave does a bunch of reviews on all different kinds of stuff, sodas and funky foods, stuff that you might not think is, you know, is good, might be. You know, it might smell weird, might look weird, but it might just taste good. Isn't that right, Dave? So, yep, check him out. His wife Paula is there with him. They're a great couple. They make good videos, great reviews, so be sure to check them out.
Done.
Awesome.
Dave,
There's a link.
Dave says, love ravioli in a can.
Were you here last week when I made the ravioli lasagna?
Lisa said it was an off-brand name.
Okay. Off-brand names are sometimes better.
Sometimes.
Just cut these in half. All right, last one. No, two more. Boy, I want to be sure I got enough sauce to do what I'm doing here. Now, when I had my restaurant many years ago, I had manicotti on the menu, and it was ordered, but not all the time. Just, it was something that just, you know, kind of took a back burner to the lasagna and the ravioli and all the other stuff. And Mrs. Old Guy and I were talking about tonight, and I can't think of a time since we've been married, which is coming up on 30 years. You're lucky. You are lucky. Now I lost my train of thought. Bye. Gone. What was I saying, Mrs. Old Guy? Help me here.
That in the time that we've been married, we've not.
Oh yeah, not made manicotti for. I've never made it for her, so time to change that. Okay, these next two things kind of go hand in hand. That doesn't need to sit. This does. So I'm going to make my pasta dough first here. Whoop! That was out of bowl. Whoop, okay. So let's get about 1 3/4 cups. Some flour, just regular all-purpose there, guys. A couple of huevos.
Scott's here.
Scott, good evening.
Hope everyone's doing well.
Awesome. You know, thank you. I hope you're doing well too, buddy. Absolutely. All right, I'm going to put in just a pinch of salt. Where's my oil?
Natalie says, did you hear that Dr. Pepper's coming out with the new flavor for a limited time called strawberries and cream?
I did. I think I've seen a video. I didn't actually watch the video. I think I just saw the title.
She thinks it's for Valentine's Day. So we'll have to watch for it.
Yeah, we will.
We have been watching for it, but we haven't seen it yet.
All right. Let's get this.
Scott says, I just had 2 days off in a row from work. The first 3 months. In the first 3 months, it feels like I've been off for a month.
Well, yeah, I understand how that can feel, working continuous days without days off or a few. I can remember a couple of restaurants that I opened for people, and my hours were usually 9 a.m. till like 1 a.m.
Very long.
And then home for just a couple of hours sleep and then back. Months at a time, 6-8 months. So I can relate to that. All right, get this off my hands a little bit. Looks like I'm gonna need a little more moisture. That's okay.
Is that pasta?
This is the pasta. Just a little bit of water. The eggs were a little small. That's the story I'm going to stick to anyway. Manicotti. Oh, here's a little fun story. I thought that, I'm just going to do it like most folks would make manicotti. You go to the store and buy the manicotti shells, bring them home, and then cook them on the stream here. Fill them. Well, we went to four different stores. And only one of them actually had manicotti shells, but they were minis. They were like about that long and about as big around as my finger. So I wasn't going to fill bite-sized manicotti either. So it's like, okay, well, I'll just do it this way. Not a big deal.
Yep.
Make my pasta. I do most of the time anyway, so. But it was just kind of funny.
Scott says, do you ever dream about work? I hate when you have to work a long day at work and then you dream about work and then you wake up and you have to go to work. It feels like it never is.
Yeah, I have one of the places I was at, Scott. It was a pretty big restaurant. Had 2 kitchens, 500 seats between the two businesses. They were attached. One was a sports bar, and the other one was a brewery restaurant. We had the ticket printer up here. Order come in, print out on the ticket, and ticket printer was, I'd say, probably about this height as far as reach goes. And I've seen it all the way down to the floor and stretching on, and we're just buried, just absolutely swamped. And yeah, I've had nightmares of waking up, listening to that stupid ticket printer, print another ticket. Wake up.
Dave says Paula wants to know how long to blanch a tomato.
In boiling water, it just kind of depends on your tomato. 3 minutes, 4 minutes, around there. If you don't notice the skin break after about 3 or 4 minutes, just all you gotta do is touch it with a sharp knife, and it should just break kind of like a balloon. That's basically how long what I do to blanch them. The skin usually just peels right off. All right.
Scott says 500 seats. That's huge.
Yeah, it was a big place, and they had a big menu too. They 500 seats, and they had it set up on the main street in this town, and the main street in that town has different things going on during the year, where they block off the main street between such and such a corner and another corner, and that restaurant is right in the middle of that. And all the people come down and flood into there, and yep, you talk about the getting your butt handed to you thing. Man, I'm telling you. All right.
Dave said thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, just a couple, 3, 4 minutes. Okay. Let's get those out of my way. What am I doing now? I'm going to get started with the cannoli. I do have my notes over here that I'm going to have to go. This is like, let's see, the second time I've made cannoli, so. It's going to take me, I got my notes over here just to make sure I don't miss a step. Start over here in my processor. Absolutely love cannoli. Alright. Quarter teaspoon. So if you want to know, there's 2 cups of flour, and I'm going to put in a quarter teaspoon of salt and 2 tablespoons of sugar. 1, 2 of those. And what else got to go in there? Am I missing something?
Dave says one of my favorite desserts of all time.
Oh yeah, I love them. I love them.
Scott said, I worked at a hotel and was a hostess at the restaurant for training. Everyone requested window seats. The waitress complained to me that I was sending her enough people. I gave her 5 2-tops and 3 6-tops.
And then she freaked out.
She goes, I didn't know how the tables worked, but I didn't realize till later how much I overloaded them.
Yeah, don't take much. Well, in some cases, you're just going to get, it's just going to happen.
Yeah.
Just from sheer volume of people. You just, when every seat, normally, not every seat in the house is filled. You know, so. All right, anyway, I'm going to add half a tablespoon of cocoa powder. That's about half. Put the lid on it. If I don't, I know it'll end up on the floor. What am I missing here? Egg flour. Why did I pull that out? I don't need it. Good thing I'm paying attention to what I'm doing here. All right. The top for this. Where did it go? Mrs. Old Guys, yeah. Oh, Jesus. All right, guys. This is what happens when you get to be 65.
Dave says, we'll be talking to one of my local Scottish shops to see if they will send you 1 pound of haggis a day. Then you can do that with turnip and mashed potatoes.
Yeah, I would definitely do that.
Scott said, coolest thing about working in the hotel was the chefs would try new recipes on us in their downtime. He says, I had raw oysters that were amazing.
You know, yeah, and I'm not looking forward to. I like oysters, but I don't like raw oysters. For those of you, there's lots of you that grew up in an area where seafood is like just part of the normal thing. I grew up here in Colorado where it's beef and pork and chicken and turkey and stuff like that. So there's some seafood that I don't like, some that I do. And when I was doing my training, the chef that I was working under had me, he says, well, he had just got seafood in, this was in California, and it was coming up to a Friday night where they had their oyster bar. And so he popped one open and he ate it, and he says, opened it up, and he says, here. And I thought, oh no, I don't like those. That was the last time I said that. That was the last time I said that. Yeah. He immediately jumped down my throat, explaining to me that he didn't give a blankety blank what I liked or didn't like. I needed to eat it, and I needed to know what it tasted like to see if it's fresh or if it's not, and all these other. And it's like, okay, let me eat it. So I ate it. I didn't like it. Still won't like them. This is like, for me, it's just like swallowing a great big booger. All slimy and okay, enough of that.
Scott says when I worked at the hotel, all of our meat and seafood was FedExed in coolers.
Okay.
Dave says he loves raw oysters.
Yep. I know lots of people do, but that's, like I said, you grew up in a state where seafood is a lot more prevalent than here. All right, make a little bit of noise here. We'll add the third cup of Marsala wine. Get it going here. Let's see how that looks. I think I need a little bit more wine. What do you guys think?
Scott says oysters feel like swallowing a big ball of snot, in his opinion.
Yeah, that's what I was just saying. Oysters that have been cooked, I don't have a problem with them. I like oysters that have been cooked. It's just the raw ones. As a matter of fact, my 1,000 sub celebration, I plan to go to California and do a live stream of me eating raw oysters with Vienna sausages covered with chocolate syrup and blue cheese dressing. I'm pretty sure that's not going to be good. Pretty sure of that. All right, let's see. Let me check my oyster here. Is that good enough? Not quite. I need to add a little bit of water. What do I do with that?
Scott says you always talk about helping your community. I start my volunteer firefighting program next Wednesday. I'm pretty nervous, but going to do my best.
That's cool, man. Okay, much better. The pile's gonna start to grow. And then I'll be singing in blues. Those veiled dishes blues. All right.
Dave says I was never a big seafood fan until I got stationed in Japan and traveled while in the Marines. Now if it swims, crawls, or grows in the ocean, I will eat it.
Cool. Yeah, I've had lots of stuff, and it's not like I don't like seafood. I mean, I've had shark, I've had different types of, I've had grouper, other kinds of fish. sea bass. I forget the frickin' name of most of them, but it's not that I don't like it. It's just that I'm not as comfortable with that as I am with meat and taters. Okay. Let me get a little flour out on the table here. Start rolling out these cannoli shells. Oil over here, hot and ready to rock. So, like I said at the beginning of the stream, I'm probably going to run over tonight, just because of the time it's going to probably take for me to do some of these cannolis and then move on. So we'll see how quickly I can get it done. I am going to say that I'm really happy with the way the mascarpone turned out. I love making homemade mascarpone. It's so easy. Now that I know how easy it is, it's just cheaper to make it than it is to buy it. So
Crazy Food Crews here. Hey, Tom and Mrs. Old Guy, everyone, from Nate, Tim, and Les the Wild Man.
hey guys, Nate, Tim, Uncle Wild Man. Uncle Wild Man. Glad you guys are here. I'm just getting ready to start getting some cannoli shells done. Just want these little chunks here.
Scott wants to know how Chum and Polly are.
They're doing good.
They're sleeping.
Yep, sleeping, taking it easy, which is good.
Polly needs to for a few more days.
Yep, we got her fixed on Monday. So we will have no more puppies. That's it. Polly's we've done made sure of that.
Yep.
And the end of February, Chumley's going under the knife too. All right, grab my little stick. I'm gonna have to play with this just a little bit. I'm not sure if I'm gonna roll them out individually or if I'm just gonna roll out a sheet and try to cut some, cut some circles. So we'll see how quickly this goes, how thin I can get them. Definitely want them thin and crispy.
Scott says, I was going to ask if she got fixed yet. How's Polly doing after the surgery?
Oh.
She's been doing really good. What's the matter?
Well, I forgot something.
What?
Supposed to put an egg in there, and actually an egg yolk. I don't think it's going to kill the recipe, but I noticed it sitting here. So I was supposed to use the egg white to help seal it shut. And that's okay. I'll just have to live with it. I'm sure that if there's a cannoli god out there watching after me, he would forgive me just because it's my second time. I will whisk it up. All right.
Well, Tim says, poor Chumley. Wild Man said, don't let him know about it. He might pack his bags and leave.
Yeah. Yeah, somehow I don't. Uh-oh.
Oh, it's in there too. It just.
Well, I can't move my table. There it is. The end of my brush. Brush doesn't work good unless you actually have it attached to the handle. All right. Just have that ready. That looks thin enough. I'll try it this way a little bit, see? quickly I can get these done. Thinking I can get them probably consistently thinner than if I try to do a big sheet of this. Thin and crispy.
Natalie says, why didn't Han Solo enjoy his steak dinner?
So enjoy steak dinner. Okay.
It was chewy.
Oh shit. Sorry.
Scott says, just curious, why are you getting chum fixed also?
It just helps him mellow out. He doesn't need, you don't need them.
No.
And if there's any female dogs around, I don't need for him to have any incentive to want to jump the fence or something. So. These are too big. That's okay. I can cut them. This is why I'm thinking I'm going to be going over a little bit tonight, just because it's a little bit slow of a process. Have you got Dave, Paula? Have you guys ever made some homemade cannoli? Just curious. Anybody else, for that matter?
Ralph, sir. Sorry I'm late.
Hi, Ralph. How are things in New Zealand, my friend? The middle of summer there, pretty much. Is it nice and warm outside? Because it's freezing cold here. You've seen the pictures on Facebook. All right, get a couple more of these rolled out. There's no way I'm just going to eat one cannoli. I'm probably going to eat 2 or 3 of them. So, okay. I just love the flavor of that mascarpone. All right.
Scott says, that makes sense, LOL. That reminds me when I was at the dog park with my friend and his golden. His dog was like 3 years old and started humping. He said, I'm sorry, you man, you lost them. Ralph says, quite rainy here today, but bad flooding up north.
Oh. Well, that's too bad. I hope there isn't like a bunch of property damage or anything. Okay, how many has it got there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Paula said, no, LOL. That's what Dave said.
No, don't ever make cannoli. What did I do with my ring? Didn't I have that on the table? I put it right there. Along with the cannoli forms. How about that?
The bank, Natalie said, the bank keeps calling me to give me compliments. They say I have an outstanding balance.
Isn't that nice? How nice.
Yes.
Yeah, I was told that any time now, you know, I guess I have to get a little bit older yet, but older people get free trips to Egypt. That's from what I hear. So you guys that are like maybe a little younger than me, plan a little bit ahead, because if you're getting a free trip to Egypt, then, you know, that's awesome. And how do I know you're going to get a free trip to Egypt? You say, well, I don't. But a lot of people do, from what I understand. Get up there 70s, 80s, they take a trip to Egypt and they get to see the Nile. See the Nile. Okay. I went a long way for nothing on that one. Some of those are just too dang big. I'm gonna make these little ones, I guess. Yeah. It's okay. Yeah, I suppose so. You suppose, I suppose, you suppose. I need to add something back into these, into my sauce real quick.
Ralph said, I think 3 people confirmed dead and 2 missing. State of emergency declared there yesterday.
Oh, that's too bad. Yeah, that's not good news. Okay. It says to spray them down. The cannoli forms, that is. Alright. So, let me spray these down over here. I'd rather spray it in the sink than all over the kitchen. So.
Yep.
Alright. Wrap that around. We'll get a little dab. No, use the brush. Just the corner. Little dab on there. Seal it up. I had a whole bunch of these cannoli forms at one point. And now I've got 3. Gonna have to go get some more. These actually aren't cannoli forms.
Scott says the top 3 places that you would go to survive a zombie
Top 3 places I
Yeah.
would go to avoid a zombie apocalypse. Is that
Yes.
what he's asking?
Yes.
Well, I'd probably stay right where I'm at. The reason is there is only one way in and one way out of this town, so it'd be a lot easier to defend this little town than it would be a lot of other little towns that have crossroads and whatnot that come into town. So yeah, I'm not going anywhere. And this old guy, seems to me I had another can of that darned spray. Am I out of it now?
Oh, I don't know.
I got so much stuff.
Dave says, just so you know that we love watching these cooking videos.
Oh, thank you. I like doing them. Really, I do. This is, I plan and look forward to these absolutely every week. It's, you know, it sure takes the boredom out of the normal routine of what, you know, we would have for dinner.
Yeah.
You know, there's not very often, for instance, that I would make manicotti, like never in the last 30 years for her. So.
Ralph said the retirement village where my uncle is staying was waist deep with water on the first floor. Sounds like his car will be completely a write-off. There's video on YouTube showing some of the flooding.
Wow.
We'll have to check it out.
Yeah, that's too bad. That's not going to work there.
Scott says also your town freezes every year, so good luck going outside without proper winter gear for more than 2 minutes.
Yeah, it gets pretty chilly. It was, what, 4 last night?
Yep, something like that.
It's going to be like 4 or 5 again tonight. At least it's not below 0. Alright. Give those a second to fry up, and while they're doing that, I'll get something to drain them on. There's a little insert bag. Not on this one. This one, there we go. Just something to drain the old one. Those are looking really good. I'm going to give them another minute or so. It looks like they're going to be really nice and crispy, like they're supposed to be, but until I get them off of the form, I'm holding out most hope and judgment here. Use one of these. Let's safely say that those are golden brown enough. We can come off, that's the question. Aha!
Yeah.
Woohoo! Yay! I've attempted to make other things on these forms like cream horns in the oven and have them stick. It's a real pain in the butt to clean stuck puff pastry off of these forms.
It is. Scott says, not sure what sporting goods stores you have here.
Sporting goods stores
Yep.
for
Or probably winter gear going outside in the cold.
yeah. I
Um,
mean, uh-oh, come on.
I'm not real sure what they have in Grand Junction either. We haven't really looked for that since we've been over here.
Yeah. So I don't spend enough time outside in the winter to make it worth buying a bunch of clothes specifically for outdoors in the winter. Spent too many years in kitchens, and I just don't like the cold like I used to. All right, that one's going to be a pain.
Uh-oh.
And the tube's still a little bit hot. I'm going to grab another napkin.
Darn thing.
Come on now. I don't want to break it. Whew. That is hot, and it's moving, but it's really tight. It broke. All right, I definitely got to give those a minute to cool down, and that's okay, because there is something I really need to kind of take care of. Got other stuff here, but
Scott says I was just joking about the zombies trying to go through Denver. Zombies would have to go to a sporting goods store first to buy cold weather clothes
before coming up.
Yep.
Well, that's funny. Ooh.
Dave says I used to work with this big Italian guy. All he talked about was his love for cannolis. LOL.
Leave the gun. Grab the cannolis. What a great movie that was. All right. Let's get these basil leaves. I gotta get them cut up and put in that sauce. Get it cranked up a little bit more. I just wanted the veg and the tomato to have time just to simmer a little bit. And then we'll finish getting it rocking. Pull that up. Move that out of the way.
Ralph says, do you have many thrill seekers in your town? as in sports, snow sports?
Thrill seekers in our town? No. Not that I'm aware of. There have been some new families that have moved in over the last year, so, you know, I'm sure that there's some of them that go skiing or snowboarding or whatever.
Yep.
I skied for a short time.
There are places to go up in the hills here close, but not really nearby here
Yeah,
too much.
yeah. There's the closest ski resort to us is one called Powderhorn, and the mesa up there. It's on top of the Grand Mesa, or on one side, and they've already got over 20 feet of snow up there this year. So I really don't want to drive up in that, and I'm already all broke up from life, so last thing I need to do is slap sticks on my skis, or slap sticks on my skis, slap sticks on my feet and try and go down the hill. I did enjoy it though.
Lisa asked Tim if he ate all of his cookies. She must have made him homemade cookies.
What kind of cookies?
Scott says, if the zombies find a Carhartt store, we're all screwed. Tim says, nope, I have some for you.
What kind of cookies? I love cookies, I want to know. Just kind of stripping down the amount of my oregano here. I don't know, for those of you that weren't here last week, if you haven't ever had fresh oregano leaves just sprinkled on the top of your pizza before you bake it, you need to try it. You'll absolutely love it. Provided you like oregano. Let's get this chopped up here. Two favorite aromas. I would turn that heat up a little bit here now. That's going to be nice. Get this out of the way. I'll come back to you, cutting board. I would imagine that these
Scott said, my mom's chocolate chip walnut cookies are my favorite.
chocolate chip walnut.
Yep.
That sounds good.
And Lisa said peanut butter cookies.
Yep. Peanut butter cookies are delicious.
And Tim says, I made some homemade peanut butter Taki cookies for a video, LOL. Then I made some with white chocolate chips. Yum.
That does sound good. We like to make chocolate chip cookies with white and the regular semi-sweet. One of my favorite cookies is soft molasses cookies. I just love them, but Mrs. Old Guy isn't really fond of that gingerbread and molasses kind of flavor. Not as much as she is on others, that's for sure.
Yep. Scott says he likes to make peanut butter cookies with the Hershey's Kiss in them. And
Oh yeah, that sounds good.
Ralph said these days most people are zombies. They need warnings painted on the footpath because people don't look up from their phones. You got that right, Ralph.
Yep. Another dead soldier there. I buy those cans a bunch at a time so they last a long time.
Yep.
And it looks like the long time has passed. I'm all out. Okay. Let's cook some more shells. Hopefully all 3 of these will slide off and one won't break. As usual, it's the fabulous, fantastic Fable Air Fryer.
Scott says, I just want to say I really appreciate you commuting with the stream, Tom and Mrs. Old Guy. I got on a stream that was related to my work and was excited, but they didn't read chat. I was sad.
Oh, well, yeah, that's the only way I can interact with you guys is through chat, and you know, there's a lot of people, and you know, if that's their thing, that's cool with me. But there's this StreamYard thing where you can have 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or 8 other people on your channel while you're on, and when that happens, those people just tend to talk to themselves, and chat is just kind of left by the wayside. So I'll probably never use that format for that exact reason. Don't need a group chat. All right, so this I'm just going to put away. It's looking good. Another minute or so. Pull out my immersion blender. Get this out of the way. Mrs. Old Guy, would you do me a small favor? Just grab the spinning wheel for me. So I'm going to go ahead and take a minute, and I think I've only got 2 left on the video. 2 spins or 2 choices, 2 dinners. So I'm just gonna have Mrs. Old Guy write them down. Write down stuffed meatballs. And we don't remember who did. Nobody remembers who requested that one, but so huh?
On this list?
No, because I'm gonna have you write down, and you're gonna number them randomly 1 and 2, and then I'm gonna flip a coin so that we can because I'll spend this thing all night before I land on those 2, one of these 2. So we got chicken pot pie. And that Tim requested that, and the stuffed meatballs with a question mark because we're not sure who did that. And that way, I'm not going to sit here and spin, waiting for one of these to come up. So, and you randomly gave 1 and a 2.
I did.
All right. And I've got a quarter in my pocket. I guess we'll call heads 1 and tails 2. It's a cool looking one. All right, here we go. It is heads.
So number 1?
Yep.
Stuffed meatballs.
Stuffed meatballs. Okay, so week after next is stuffed meatballs. Next weekend is chicken biscuit bake, I think. And was that John that requested that one? My shells are done. They didn't burn. That's good.
Yeah.
Because I kind of forgot they were in there for a minute. I need some power here. Sorry, guys.
Miguel requested the chicken biscuit bake.
Okay, we go. Get these kind of pureed out a little bit here. Does need to be a sauce for the bottom of that pan. All right. That looks fine. Throw this back in my kitchen tool drawer. Everybody's got one, right? A drawer that's just got all kinds of kitchen utensils of sorts that you may or may not use.
So did you want me
any
to
kind
put,
of regular basis. What?
Did you want me to put both of these on there?
Both of those on there. What?
This or just the stuffed meatballs?
Well, the
Chicken
right.
pot pie
Okay, so
goes
we got actually the next
to-
3 weeks.
Yes.
Next week is the chicken biscuit bake. Then it'll be the stuffed meatballs, and then after that, Tim, it'll be the chicken pot pie.
Okay.
Okay.
That's what I was checking.
Yeah, we should probably just do it that way, and then I can start the wheel anew. So, get your requests in. I'm gonna go the first draft, so to speak, or the first picks. This little guy and I will go through and write down everybody's name. We'll see how many people we have requesting, and then we will make sure to get at least one recipe from each person that requested. And then if you've requested multiple things, then it will become a random choice of what item that you requested gets picked to put on the wheel. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? The item will still remain on the list. Just because it doesn't get on the wheel this next time, it doesn't mean it won't. It'll just be a while before it does. That's all.
Scott said that he don't think you would enjoy that form either. Just wanted to thank you and Mrs. Old Guy for being awesome.
Oh, well, thank you. You're awesome too.
And he says, I can't wait to see a chicken pot pie. They are his favorite.
All right. Let me see how well. I don't care. Come on. They're a tiny bit dark, but they're all right. I'll eat them. It's my fault. That's what I get for trying to do, ouch, as many things as I'm doing, I guess. Off of there. All right, fine. I'm gonna let them cool down. Then I'll see if they come off. Unplug the fryer. I do believe I'm done with that. I'll probably do some more after the stream just so I can get it used up. I'll add a can of tomato paste. Okay, get that stirred in. That looks pretty good.
Scott says, I have a huge collection of cast iron pans and pots that I'm searching for one specifically made for cornbread.
Yep, I've seen them.
We don't have one of those either, I don't think.
No. They're not too difficult to find. I bet if you logged online to Lodge, is a big cast iron pan making company. They have everything you'd ever want. They got the griddles, they got the pan shaped like corns for the cornbread. All right.
Scott says I have 91. I don't know if that's huge.
91 what?
Cast iron.
Oh,
pans
yeah,
and
that's
pots.
pretty good collection.
Skillets.
It's a lot more than I got, that's for sure. All right, and got to balance out that with just a little bit of sugar. Hopefully that'll do it. If not,
He says most of his cast iron pans are Lodge.
say what?
He said most of his cast iron pans are Lodge.
Oh, Lodge, yeah. They're a pretty good company. They've been around for a long time. Come on.
Ralph says, do you use the 3-second roll for floor food? We normally extended it quite a bit.
It depends on where the item has struck the floor. In the kitchen, probably pick it up. No problem, eat it. In the front room, where the dog hair is multiplied by about 10.
Because they shed so much.
You got to be careful. Yeah, you drop something on the floor, you might want to look at it, especially if it's anything that's got any kind of moisture to it, because it's going to stick. You'll pull up a fuzzball.
Yep.
Think about short-haired dogs like that. Yep, they shed year-round.
Yep. Scott said 9, not 91, lol. He says, oh, I have 99. I don't know if that's huge. And I took it as 91.
Well,
Funny.
still.
Steve Russell's here.
Steve Russell!
What's on the menu tonight?
Manicotti, and I'm just finishing up the marinara. Let's see how it tastes.
We
It's
might
good.
have 7 to 9 cast irons, maybe.
Needs a little dash of sugar and a little bit of salt. Right here. Other than that, it's good to go. Yeah, not very many cast irons. Just a few.
Greg Wells is here. Good morning.
Greg Wells. All the way from Australia. Say hello to Ralph. Kind of on your end of the world there.
Yep.
In New Zealand. So.
Do you
That's
still
awesome.
have all as well?
Thank you. I hope all is well as you. Well with you also.
Did you tell him what was on the menu?
I did not. Manicotti is on the menu. Cheese manicotti, and I'm making cannolis for dessert. Why am I in the refrigerator? To get the ricotta. I'm going to start and get this the filling made for these. Return of the cutting board. Alright, let's get the filling made for the manicotti. I'm going to use my trusty flat bottom bowl. That's about a pound of ricotta there. What did I do with my whisk? I'm always putting my whisk somewhere. It's a whisk no matter what you do.
Very guess, did I miss the wheel?
Well, technically no. It didn't spin it. There was only two items, 2 dinner requests left on it, so we wrote those 2 items down, and we pretty much flipped a coin to see which one goes first. And so the next 3 weeks we are ready to rock. Next
Yep.
week, chicken biscuit bake The week after that, stuffed meatballs, and then after that, chicken pot pie.
Yep.
So those should be really good.
Ralph says, just remember us Kiwis invented the pavlova.
Oh, you know, Mrs. Olga, we need to make sure that gets right. Do me a favor, make a note to put that on the voting list this week.
Okay, Greg Well says, ha ha ha, shh, Ralph. Don's here. Hi, Tom.
Don,
it's been a long time.
It's been a while.
Since I've been here.
It's been a while, yeah. We, in fact, we just had one of your requests, I think last week or week before.
Yeah. He says we moved from the city to the mountains in the rural area. No internet and cell service is hit and miss. Got lucky today with data.
Well, welcome. I'm glad to see you back. I'm glad apparently your move went well. You're still among us, so that is a good thing. I am just getting some filling ready to go in the manicotti here. Got some spinach and a little bit of parsley. Grating up some other cheese here. Just a second. Get this kind of diced up. All right. Here we go.
Should be really good.
Oh yeah, should be great. A little garlic. There's the cinnamon. Garlic in there. And what else do I got to go in here? What am I thinking here? Seems like I'm missing something. I'll start stirring this in and I'll think about it. Nope, think that's it. Just the other cheese has got to get grated. That's not a problem.
Greg says, LOL, Ralph making real Americans pronounce pavlova.
Yeah.
Say it. Tom can say it, I can.
Poplava? 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 Poplava. Poplava.
Ralph says, yep, not sure how to explain it in text, LOL.
Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah. How do you pronounce things in text? All right. There's my cheese. So I got a bit left of my Asiago. So that's definitely going in. And mozzarella and Parmesan. This is the fun part.
Greg laughed and he says, Pavlova.
Pavlova. Pavlova.
And he says, God bless you guys.
Pavlova. Pavlova. Okay. Pavlova. To me, that just sounds like something you need to see a doctor for. Doc, you gotta help. My Pavlova's acting up.
One Tom made was really good, though.
Yep. Now, both Greg, you and Ralph can feel free to request a dinner, and even one that is maybe specific to your area of your country, or even just, you know, a common popular Aussie dish like a meat pie or something. You know, if you want to request one from Old Guy, yeah, please do. Please do. All right, let me add that in.
Ralph says it's quite funny hearing Tom pronounce apricots.
Yeah, the way we say it, I imagine it is different. apricot. Apricas. Okay. That looks
Johnny
good.
Wallpeppers here.
Johnny. Good evening, sir. Hey. That was sure an awesome thing you did for. Oh, come on. Oh, you know who I mean here. A little bit earlier today. Man, my brain is a little bit like Kelly Bundy's. It'll only hold so much information, and then it'll spill out, and I'll forget something that I knew before.
Greg requested sausage roll with an American spin.
Sausage roll with an American spin. Well, I'm gonna have to see what an Australian sausage roll is. I mean, how do you Aussies do it? How do I know I'm gonna do it any different? Oh, almost did it again.
Oh
Oh no.
That's an oh no minute.
Okay. And that's actually enough, so that'll work. All right. All right. Oh man, this is looking pretty good so far.
Ralph says we pronounce it as apricots.
Apricot. Apricot. Okay. Yeah. They have, I don't know if they have them there or not, but they have a nut here, pecan. And there's a little thing with people on that too, of how you pronounce a pecan. Some people say pecan.
Yep.
And others say, others say pecan. So. You hear all kinds of stuff about which one's right.
Greg says he can't wait, and then Scott says you're gonna wake up the dogs.
Dog's already awake.
Yep, Cannoli's under the table.
Yep. All right, I can get this out
Holly's
of my
still
way.
sneezing in her chair though.
Use that. We are coming into, like, we're starting to round the corner on second base here.
Okay. Johnny says thank you. He works hard. Jimmy Pickles.
Jimmy Pickles, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I tuned in for the first while. I left the stream going, so you have the view hours, but I was trying to get ready for this evening. But I did hear mostly, of what was going on with him, and it's a sad situation, and I hope everything works out.
Scott says I love apricot cobbler.
Apricot cobbler. I don't think I've ever had apricot cobbler.
John,
Sounds interesting.
Yeah, it does. John said that his beans and cornbread are quite tasty.
Oh, I bet they are.
Greg says it's like Porsche. Porche.
I'm not sure what that is.
Steve baked a steak tonight.
Steak? Love steak. All right. Salt in that pasta water. Now the fun part. Pull this out. Roll out the pasta.
Ralph says
Isn't there a beer drink song? Roll out the pasta. Oh no, that ain't it.
Ralph said we say pecan here over here.
Pecans.
Greg say some say P or E. Steve says, do you like red pepper flakes on pizza?
Oh yes. We did a pizza review yesterday, and you can darn sure bet after the review, I put peppers on the remainder of my slices of pizza. It just for the review itself, just eat the pizza like you get it out the oven.
Scott
Yes.
says, have you ever made loaded baked potato soup?
Loaded baked potato
Come
soup.
here, Cannoli.
I think you would probably call it that.
There you go. Going outside?
Although I may not have. I used to make a ton of variations of potato soup, and there was a couple of versions that it pretty much would contain, all the same ingredients. So, what was I saying, Mrs. Okay? About what did he ask me? My brain's soft mush right now.
Red pepper flakes.
Red pepper flakes, yes, on pizza. I remember pulling a joke on a guy. Well, I think I've told this story. I'm going to refrain. Roll out this pasta and get ready to start fill some manicotti.
Greg says it's Porsche, not Porsche. Nate wants to know if you can do a seafood boil one night.
A seafood boil?
Yep.
Nate, just to be honest, probably not. And the biggest reason is, well, I really don't care for, like, soupy seafood. Whether it's boiled or... I'll check into it and see what I can get that's fresh, like crabs or something, but if I'm going to do that, I'd rather be in a place where I can get it fresh, and not from some, grocery store meat department that who knows how long they've been there. So that's just, but I'm not going to count it out. Just less likely. Sorry, I got to be honest. There's some things I just may not do. Now you want me to make a tuna fish casserole? I can do that.
Greg says, "Oh my God, real pasta."
Real pasta.
Scott says he used to go to a restaurant that would make loaded baked potato soup, and he would add sour cream and cheese and green onions on top.
Oh yeah, yeah. That would be the way to garnish that soup. If you had to ask for it, that's not good. That should have been an automatic garnish.
And Greg was laughing at us, trying to get us to say it.
Get to say what?
Porsche.
Yeah, I bet. There'd be a lot of words that I wouldn't know how to pronounce. Or at least pronounce them the way you all do.
Scott says, "I know Mrs. Old Guy can't do the potatoes, but I bet you could make a great version."
Oh yes, we've had several requests for different potato things, and so on those, I'm going to start doing some of them, and on those nights, I'll just have a different option for Mrs. Old Guy.
Yeah.
So that's not it won't be a big issue at all.
Nope.
All right, getting there. Oh, beautiful. It looks so good.
Lisa says, "You would love my stuffed baked pork chops that has peaches in it."
Oh yeah, I don't mind having, I guess you would say a sweet meat, like the apricots, or I've had blueberries with, different, like with, had elk steak many years ago that was served up with a blueberry, rosemary kind of sauce or demi-glaze, and it was just delicious on that meat. So, yes, absolutely.
Greg says, love you guys. It's like French Porsche, Porshhhh.
Whoosh.
Crazy Food Crew says tuna fish casserole would work, lol.
Okay, write it down.
Greg says people pronounce Porsche the way that wonkers.
Wonkers. Wonkers. It's better than a wanker.
That's what he said, wankers, lol.
Wankers, yes.
Scott says, I feel bad for Mrs. Old Guy. You're missing out on some amazing dishes. I know, but I'm getting used to it right now.
Yeah, it's not that she didn't eat potatoes. She just found out in like the last 4 years.
Yep, 5 years, something like that.
So, okay. Get this.
Greg says, oh my God, real pasta, what a legend.
I prefer just to make my own.
Greg says it was wanker.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole long time, and I don't know, it just tastes better.
Scott says, I can't eat most tuna. I get a migraine when I eat canned tuna.
When I had my restaurant years back, I made tuna salad, but sandwiches, but I used frozen ahi steaks, and I'd grill it up and make a salad to order. And this one lady ordered a tuna sandwich. This tastes fishy. All right, so how big am I gonna want these? About like that.
Ralph says, I keep forgetting you guys don't have Kumara, Kumara, over there. Keep wondering if Mrs. Old Guy could be able to have those instead of potatoes.
Yes, that would be nice. Now, is that a root vegetable or is it a tuber? It's just whatever.
Greg says, this is just amazing. Oh my God, you guys taught me how to make pasta.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then he laughed, LOL, this tuna is fishy.
Yeah. Is this old lady? This tuna tastes fishy. But she had only had tuna salad made from canned tuna fish, and I think that's what the difference was. And then there was the lady and the soup du jour. Do any of you know? Is there any of you that do not know?
Uh-oh. Oh, no.
What soup du jour is? What's the matter?
It looked like it froze up for a minute.
Okay. What is soup du jour?
Ralph says it's a tuber vegetable. Not soup du jour, but...
Yes. That's what I thought. It's a tuber that can be baked up and used just like a potato. And it would, from what I understand, it tastes a lot like a potato. We can't get them here, I don't think.
Scott said it was the mercury in the fish that was giving me a headache. Also, I don't think it was tuna. Or I don't think I was eating tuna.
You may not have been. Where was it that got in trouble here lately, or some kind of controversy about tuna? Subway.
Yes.
People were saying that they don't use real tuna. It's going to be a long time before I eat any tuna from Subway, but not because of that. A year or so ago, Val from Trippy Food and I ate a meatball marinara sandwich with tuna salad on the top. That was terrible. All right.
Greg says I need chicken marinated in tuna oil.
Chicken
Or
marinated
fish
in
soup.
tuna oil.
Don't think so.
That don't sound very good.
He says, "Oh wow, fish tumor."
All right.
Steve says Subway was the king of false advertising.
Well, they got sued.
Ralph says, "Yep, it's sweeter than potato. I'm not too keen on it because I don't like sweet and savory."
Yeah, if it's a lot sweeter, I could see it not being that great of a substitute.
Scott says, "Oh my God, meatball sub with tuna? That's a hard no."
It was bad. It was not good. I never want to do that again. In fact, I can guarantee you I'm not gonna. All right, I'm gonna wait for a minute. I'll get this done.
What's the matter, Chumley? Why are you whining in there? Come
These are
here.
gonna cook in just a minute or three. Looking good, looking good.
Come
Get them
here.
drained, and then we're gonna start building some manicotti. See, and I put that away, didn't I? Need that back. You come back.
Scott said a Subway meatball sub on cheese bread is amazing.
Yeah, meatball subs are decent. There was one place many years ago that was just in the neighborhood where I used to live. It was an independently ran and owned hoagie type sandwich shop. I tried every one they had on the menu. They were all good, including the tuna. They were all amazing. My favorite one was their Italian sausage sandwich. So good.
Greg told Scott a fish tuna ball.
All right. Cool this down.
Scott asked, "Have we been back to Jersey Mike's?
Hang on a minute. What's that?
Scott wants to know if we've been back to Jersey Mike's.
If we what?
Been back to Jersey Mike's.
No, not yet. We will. Oh yeah, we did.
We did one time, I think.
Yeah, about 2 weeks ago or so. And yes, I got exactly the same thing. I'm a creature of habit.
Greg told Scott, "Sorry, I mean the tuna tumor ball."
So I got something to show you guys real quick. Something that I was real happy to get. I'm going to turn y'all along to a little bit of old guy merch. What do you think, guys? My big smiling face all over the shirt. This is available on my website, on my merch site, and I'm going to be doing a giveaway here pretty soon. As soon as I figure out how to do a couple of things as far as doing it fairly, I'm going to be giving away a shirt like this. Yes?
Scott says, "LOL, I was just going to ask what you got at Jersey Mike's." And then Lawrence Ratcliffe.
Say what?
Cool. Lawrence Ratcliffe is there?
Lawrence Ratcliffe. Hey,
Ratcliffe?
new to the old guys channel. I'm definitely new to the kitchen. Welcome. Every Saturday night, I cook my viewers' requests, dinner requests. I get a bunch of them, so we kind of plan ahead a little bit. Welcome. Grab yourself a seat. Get yourself something out of the fridge. Making manicotti tonight and some cannolis for dessert. And I was just showing folks some of my new merch. There is your basic old guy apron. Yeah. Sporting the old white apron.
Ralph wants to know what's on the back of that t-shirt.
What's on the back? There's the front, and there's the back. Just a whole bunch more of my faces every which way. That there is your old guy t-shirt.
Lawrence said, howdy there.
Hey, welcome. Where are you from, sir? What part of the country, or are you in U.S.? I've had folks from Australia and New Zealand.
Yeah, Scott says I like to wear that snowboarding, but I don't. My work would not approve.
And last but not least, right now, a flaming old guy apron.
Lawrence is from Tennessee.
Tennessee, awesome. Well, welcome. Welcome. All right. Enough fooling around. Let's build that manicotti because I am getting hungry. Let's taste this sauce one more time.
Scott said that same shirt with you, Tom, make one with Chum and Polly's faces all over it.
That's a good idea. Oh,
Charlie,
man.
come here.
That is some good sauce. All right. So
Come
first
here.
I'm going to want to put a fair amount of sauce in the bottom of this pan.
Come here, Chum.
That looks good. Then we'll grab the pasta.
Don says, Tom, I keep losing connection. I'll email you with the details of what's been happening since we moved and pictures of our new home. I'll try to tune in when cell service allows.
That was John.
Don.
Don, thank you for coming in. Too bad it's not good connection right now, but hey, thank you for even attempting. I appreciate it. Hopefully you can come back next week.
Yep.
All right, let's roll some manicotti. I believe it's gonna fit if I do it lengthwise, so let's go like this. For those of you that missed it, I have Asiago, mozzarella, and ricotta here, along with some spinach, just a little bit of parsley, some garlic.
Scott says, ooh, a shirt with Tom's face, Polly's, and Chum's would be awesome.
Okay, let me just roll this up. One manicotti. Do it fit? Oh, it's just a little bit too wide.
Come here, Chum. Quit whining in there. Come here.
All right, well, I'll have to trim some off. I guess it's swelled up some when I cooked it, so we'll cut that off a little bit. It needs to fit better in the pan than that. All right, take a couple minutes here. When I get this done and loaded up into the oven, I'll make this old guy and I a little dinner salad, and then I'm gonna try and get the filling ready to go for those cannoli. Does that fit better? That fits much better.
Scott says, Tom's face in the center surrounded by face pictures of Chum and Polly around him. And then Ralph says, didn't you have a different shirt design ages back?
I did. I still have it. It was a local company that I tried to go through, and it took them 10 weeks to get me 4 T-shirts, and I wasn't satisfied with that. It took way too long. And I understand they were busy with clients a lot bigger than me.
Yeah.
You know, like high schools and whatnot, ordering team uniforms and crap like that. So they just didn't have time to mess with my little piddly orders. So that's why I decided to go with Teespring.
Lawrence wants to know what you do for a living.
I am retired, sir. Most of my adult life I spent working in kitchens, managed several kitchens. I've opened several restaurants, one for myself and 4 other restaurants for other people, for owners. And been around food a long time. All right. Finished loading these up. Let's see. I've already got room for 1, 2, maybe 3 more. Want some good sauce. That is some good sauce.
Yeah, this can be good.
Yeah,
Can't
nice. Nice line of that filling. It's actually easier to do it this way than it would be to buy and use the store-made manicotti shells, because they're a tube and you'd be stuffing it in a tube, floppy and wobbly. Just easier to put it down on this sheet and roll it up.
Greg says, oh my God, I was kicked from Google to enter my password. I thought you guys booted me.
No, I didn't boot you, I promise.
He says, too chatty, LOL.
No, sir, I did not boot.
T-Bird and Rice is here.
T-Bird! Hey, man, how you been? How have you been? We're making manicotti tonight. In fact, I'm just getting them rolled up and into the pan. Get that seam there. Oh yeah. So we made just to catch you up, we made some marinara. I made cannoli shells. We're gonna make cannoli for dessert.
Yeah.
Got the filling going, made the pasta, and now I am about to ready to roll up the last manicotti that'll fit in this pan.
Leftovers for lunch tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And I got enough pasta left. We can make these manicotti, roll them up, put them in the freezer. And then all we'd have to do is just what we're doing here. Only give them a little longer to bake.
Greg says, just delicious.
It is going to be. The sauce is very tasty. Okay. You see that okay? Whoop. I don't want to dump it out all over. Can you see that, Mrs. Old Guy?
Pretty well.
Okay. Awesome. So, a little more sauce on the top.
Scott said my friend was in the Army and they told him that you can become a ranger, but you're going to be a cook. He said, so I'll be a ranger, but I just have to learn how to cook. He signed up and was a cook for 3 years. Greg wants to know what you do with the cutoffs of the pasta.
Those? I'm going to save them and put them in the fridge. They'll keep for a few days, and I'll probably just kind of slice them into like an egg noodle size. And I'll put them in some soup, or I'll make like a pastas and cheese or something like that with them. And the rest of this sheet, I'll cut into those manicotti size, and I'm going to finish using the filling. And I'm going to do that right after the stream. But for now, I'm going to get some cheese grated up. Where did I put it? Right there. Put a little extra cheese on the top. Where did I put that last bit of mozz cheese? Where did I put the cheese? Right there. Woo! That's not mozz. I used the batch. Hang on.
Greg says, wow, egg noodles?
Yes, sir. Yes, yes, yes.
Scott said he wanted to be a ranger. Recruiters just tell him the whole truth. And then he took it away. So it must not have been right.
Dang. Choke myself up.
Sure.
All right. Get some mozzarella on the top here. I don't want a ton, but I want some. Hoping that I get it kind of browned and maybe a little crispy. Oh boy. This looks so good.
It does. Hurry up.
Yep. That looks good. I don't want a ton. Just some. Oh, I got some Parmesan. Let's put some Parmesan on there. Why not, huh?
Might as well.
Oh, yeah. Look great. We're going to go a little bit. I'm going to sprinkle some white pepper across the top. And I think that's it. It's going into the oven. Set that timer for 25 minutes. Good deal. Timer's counting down. Put these aside. Get this out of my way. Okay. Slice some veg for a salad. Ooh, some razor thin slices of onion. I'm going to slice up some green bell pepper in there. This should be good. Little salad.
Yeah.
That ought to be plenty. Okay. We got onion. Some tomato. Just a quick, simple salad, nothing too major here. many carbs and fat and everything else that's going into this dinner, I figured I'd better have at least something fresh and healthy. All right. A little bit of cucumber. Almost there. And I'll get this diced up. Okay. Perfect. Carrot. And I'll probably just grab that cheese grater back and run it through that. Chumley over there whining.
Yeah, he's laying there on the couch with his blanket.
Chumley's like a little kid. He has a blanket pacifier. He'll lay down and he'll hold it with his paws and he'll scrunch it up into a ball and he'll just bite down on it and hold on to it. I don't think he's like chewing it. He just holds it in his mouth.
Scott says random, but when I worked in a kitchen and someone put a stack of clean glasses in the wrong spot and the whole tower of glasses broke right next to the line, what would you do? My FD manager was pissed.
Oh yeah, because what you got, I mean, if it broke near that line, guess what you got to do with all that food? Yep, all that food goes away. You cannot take the risk of having somebody get glass in their food. So yeah, and I've had that happen with different things. Not, I mean, glass, but some of it was just like glass that you'd have on the line, like a shaker with something in it, fall and break. Just yeah, managers get upset about that because you're throwing away really good food. Okay.
Yum.
Let's kind of split that up. Okay. That's what you call tossed. So. Okay. That's out of the way. Get some of this stuff, some more stuff off the table. And the closer dinner gets, the less stuff that's on the table, and that's a good thing. Okay. These out of the way. Got to clean up that a little bit, folks. If I don't, I won't be able to get my way through the jungle at all. Okay, my pasta here. Carrot. Just get a quick wipe. How we doing? I think we're doing okay. Okay. Mix her out. Don't need that. I'm gonna grab my mascarpone cheese, guys. I'm gonna be back in camera you in a second. All right. These two are the mascarpone. I got one with ricotta. I did not make it, but I did have it in here to strain it out. In fact, see, there's a bunch more liquid right there. It's okay. I'm going to make the filling for the cannoli. You want to drain the ricotta.
Scott said the weirdest thing he saw at work was the restaurant. At the restaurant was the owner always appeared the best steak and wanted it seared on both sides and bloody in the middle. It was so weird.
Yeah, well, that's, I guess a personal choice. I've gone to restaurants and ordered a steak completely raw. So, talk about getting weird looks.
Greg said he had a phone call, but he's back.
Welcome back. All right, so there's the ricotta. I'll throw that into my blender, mixer. And here is just, that is so beautiful. Let me grab a knife just to show you guys. How this mascarpone turns out. Let's see. Can you see that?
Yep, just kind of, yep.
Okay. Look at that. Thick, delicious, perfect. It's going to be so good. Okay. Mascarpone cheese is, it is really about the very simplest thing you can make. It takes two things, cream and a little bit of lemon juice, and that's it.
Greg says he loves his steaks blue.
My wife used to cook what I called Civil War steaks. They were blue on one side and gray on the other. Nah, just kidding. I like my steak medium, right around there, a nice medium temp. I don't care for it too rare. Now, I do like prime rib pretty rare.
He said that seared fast and black on the outside and red on the inside.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, you get that crispy char on the outside of beef. It's delicious. Okay, just a little bit of salt.
Scott said your cheese was beautiful.
Thank you. The texture on that is just so smooth.
Steve wants to know, do you like ranch on pizza?
Ranch on pizza. Some I do. Some I like ranch on some pizzas. Most of the time, though, I don't. What do we got here?
Lawrence wants to know, do you like deer?
Not especially. It's plentiful up here, that's for sure. But it's just not. I'm not much into game meat. Yeah, so just a personal thing, personal preference. I've eaten plenty of it over the years in different forms: steaks, burgers, sausages, so forth. My favorite of them is the sausages, but there it is. All right, let's get this whisk attachment going. Get some powdered sugar. In the mixer. I hate that. I got powdered sugar everywhere.
They're great.
Not the first time. Okay, I'm going to put in a little dash of vanilla.
These are going to be good.
Oh, it's going to be great. Just because I don't have the citrus, because I forgot to grab it when I went to the store, I'm going to add just a little bit more lemon juice. Just so I have a slightly citrus back note.
Greg says, here in Aussie, I love kangaroo like lamb, TBH.
Kangaroo, now that is an animal I would like to try. Oh my gosh. That filling whipped out just beautifully. Look at that.
Ooh, yeah.
That tastes so good. Okay, let me get this out of the way. Grab my bag. Throw some of this into a bag, and then I'll fill those couple of cannolis. Well, actually, I'm gonna wait. I think, and I'll fill them just after we eat. That way, that shell stays nice and crispy.
Yep, good idea.
Okay, that looks good. I gotta take a fingerful.
Greg says you guys would love it just like lamb or
Mm.
mutton.
Would you throw that in the back for me? That way we can keep it well chilled. Woo! How much time? 10 minutes. Cannoli shells. Yeah, they got a little dark. They don't smell burned. I'll eat them. That was my fault. It'll be a busy night after the stream. Finish making the manicottis and frying up the cannolis, and the shells will keep for a few days. Just fill them when you want it. So.
Greg says, LOL, OGIC is dancing.
Yes. Dancing because I'm like 10 minutes away from feeding my face. Need to find, what am I thinking about here? There's something else I need to do real quick. I don't really want to put it in the food processor because I'd have to clean it out, and I don't want to do that. But I've got some pistachios here. And for those of you that have had cannoli, you know, but for those of you that have not, it is traditional to have one end of the cannoli, the cream there, dipped in chopped pistachio, and the other end in like little mini chocolate chips. And there are other combinations, but this one's, from what I've seen, pretty common.
Scott says, would you rather join the military again or join the military again for a year or deal with puppies again?
Puppies. Puppies are over with in like 3 months. But neither one are going to happen, so that's a good thing. Okay, those are just ready.
Yes, I am. Greg says, "Oh my God, Madam OGIC, you are blessed with such a wonderful husband." I sure am.
I'm not as wonderful as you people think. Just so you know. I got plates here. I'm gonna sit down. We have got about 7 minutes left.
Scott says, "LOL, neither one are going to happen."
All right. Actually, I think this is like the second 12-pack of Mountain Dew that I've got since they came out with the thrashed apple a couple of years ago.
Greg says, "God bless you both. God bless the both of you, wonderful people."
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Cannoli, stop
Same to you,
whining.
my friend. Same to you.
Scott says, "You're good people, Tom, and the person I would want in my zombie apocalypse camp."
Yep. You bring me some zombie parts, you know? Instead like some zombie ribs, man, slow cooked, a little honey mustard on there, buddy, you're gonna love them. Some smoked zombie rib. Smoked zombie rib.
Come here, Tom.
That reminded me of
Come here.
in the Army, in the summertime. It seemed like maybe it was like in June or July. They would have a month where at lunch they offered steak, and they were really good sirloin steaks. So the mess hall was over. I was a little extra busy during that month because everybody wanted the steaks. They were, who doesn't want a steak, right? Military food is actually pretty good.
Greg says, "We're only human," and then he's told Scott, "I'm bringing the shotgun to the zombie camp."
Zombie camp. I've got a machete. So, if that counts, I got a machete. So, they'd have to get a little close, but hey, I don't know if I have the right swing angle to separate the head with one stroke. It may not be as easy as it looks to cleave a man's head off. Just saying. Zombies might have weak necks.
Lisa says, "I would pass on that."
Zombie apocalypse. I'm not too worried about that. I think we have a much better chance of being invaded by aliens than we have a chance of a zombie apocalypse. That's just my personal philosophy, which doesn't mean much. It goes that far beyond me, and that's it. So. Looks like we got 4 minutes left. I'm gonna cheat and I'm gonna peek. Oh wow, those look really good. I hope I can get them out of the pan without falling apart.
Scott told Greg might want to look into a 556. Greg says, "LOL, I love how we're working on zombies here."
Yep, we'll take care of them. We'll take care of them. Red-haired zombies this way, hopefully all the red-haired zombies go that way. Blonde-haired zombies go this way. Everybody else right down in the center here.
Scott says if you live in Portland, Oregon, or LA, you're living in zombie apocalypse.
Yeah. You know, I've seen lots of things about what's going on in California. You know, these different stuff. And I guess I feel lucky because when we went to California last year, we didn't see any of that. We did see some homeless folks, but you're going to see them
Yep.
in any big city. So, but yeah, I didn't. You know, I'm sure it's bad enough. I mean, I'm just glad we weren't in areas where that was going on.
Yep.
I guess that's about the size of that.
Greg says that he can smell it from here. He can smell it from there.
Well, and that's something. That's something.
Yep, that's
You know,
quite a ways.
that's quite a ways. Yeah, you got one hell of a sniffer there, guy. I can smell that all the way from Mark.
That's a
Of course,
superpower.
you don't. That's a superpower. I can smell. I can smell manicotti from halfway around the world. Got like just less than 2 minutes. Hot pad in hand, ready to pull it out. Oh, but I'm gonna need something to scoop it out with.
Yeah.
Got it.
Scott said, what's sad is there's no hope for those people.
No hope for what people?
Homeless.
Oh, for who? Zombies? Of course, there's no hope for zombies. Maybe I'm missing something.
Yeah, it must be zombies.
I guess once you're a zombie, I don't think you realize that you're a zombie.
I don't know if he's talking about zombies or if he's talking about what you were talking about in California.
Oh, yes, that could be. Yeah, there's been some messed up stuff going on, but
And Scott said, sorry, I didn't mean to be a Debbie Downer.
it's okay.
Greg said that his pug can smell it.
Ooh, yeah, if your pug can smell it, you know it's good.
Scott said homeless people hooked on drugs and is what he meant.
Yeah. Well, it's a sad fact of today to me. You know, there's always been homeless people that have been addicted to things for a very, very, very long time. Why do we know is it more? Because there's more people. There's more people. Just by odds, just by statistics, there's going to be more homeless. So,
Ralph's taken off, but hope you all have a good night.
Ralph, I guess have a good night. I mean, I'm going to miss you. Thanks, Ralph, for coming in. I appreciate it. I hope I see you next week, and we'll catch up and chat here a little bit later this week. All right. There's that manicotti. Can you folks see that? Maybe I should walk it over this way. I think I might be able, should give it maybe just another couple minutes. It's not really bubbling on the top. Look at that. Doesn't that look delicious?
It does.
They're probably done enough. I don't want to wait anymore.
Scott was super sad and glad I never allowed myself to get that when I know I could have.
What are we talking about?
Getting like the homeless people.
Oh, Mrs. Old Guy and I were homeless for a time, and but we were lucky and able to come out of it. Oh, that's close, pretty close.
I'll start with one.
Well, you're starting with two because that's what's on your plate. Should put some fancy garnish on there, but why? There's the manicotti.
Yum.
There we go.
Thank you.
Yep. Here's a salad.
Thank you.
Here's a fork.
Thank you.
Give me a second, I'll hand you the dressing.
Caretaker.
I'm in your guy's way, that's alright. There you go.
Thank you.
Okay. Let's load these up here. Couple manicotti there. Oh, my fork and my salad. All right.
Scott said, wow, you came out of it.
I did.
My hat's off to you, Tom. It's not easy.
No, it wasn't. Woo!
Greg says, OGIC, I'm sorry you had to live on the street. Look at you now.
Luckily, things weren't super horrible. There was a time when we had no vehicle. There was Miss Old Guy, I, our son, and our dog. And somebody was real generous and bought us a camping tent and a few things to live on, like a cook stove and some other stuff. And after a few weeks, I got some money and I bought a van, a big old church van. We pulled the seats out and we kind of camped out and lived in a Walmart parking lot for, I don't know, a month.
Mm-hmm.
And then we ended up, found this place. I had funds coming in, so we were able to, be where we are now.
This is delicious.
Yeah, it is. It's really good. Yep. Yeah, that's good manicotti. Oh, look at that cheese pull. Oh, yeah. Now, I have to say, first, that I'm absolutely enjoying this, 100%. But just by twist of fate, the last 3 weeks has been Italian. 2 weeks ago, it was stromboli. Last week, it was ravioli lasagna. This week, it's the manicotti. I'm glad that we got some other stuff coming up.
Greg said, God bless you and the madam. You're very good souls. Thank you. Thank God to both.
Well, thank you, sir.
Scott said, wow, that's adversity, and you did something.
Well, I'm not one that gives up.
Greg says, and now you are making my mouth water like crazy and my pug.
Um, that's one thing, I guess, about me is once I've made up my mind on something, that's pretty much it. And it may take a while for the things I've made up my mind about to happen or to whatever. But that's just the way it is.
Scott says you didn't give up. Be proud and happy where you're at. I'm living in a car and trying to move forward.
Hey, living in a car, there's at least a roof over your head, and if it's in the winter, it can supply you some heat. We got lucky, and when we ended up homeless, it was right at the very beginning of spring. So it was still kind of a little cold at night, but the days were nice, and it just, kept getting warmer as time went by.
Greg says, all my love to you guys. He says, shakes fist, curse you with a heart.
In just a couple minutes, we'll be filling some cannoli, and you guys can be jealous that we're eating cannoli. Wow. I was a little concerned about two things. One, that the pasta would maybe be a little bit too stiff, and that the filling was maybe a little under-seasoned. And that's not the case on either one. The pasta is cooked just perfect. The filling, didn't need anything more than I put in it. That would be just great. And I love the use of Asiago. Yummy.
Greg says he wishes he could grab some.
I'm sorry, he wishes what?
He could grab some.
I wish you could too. I'd absolutely love to make you dinner.
Scott said my car is not insulated well and it's cold. I worked 10.
Well, I'm sorry, Scott. I sure hope things improve for you soon.
For sure.
The main thing is that you don't give up. If you give up, then all hope is definitely lost. Don't quit on yourself. 2 manicottis, bam, down like nothing. Those are delicious.
Greg says if I ever find myself up there, do you think I could kick in for a meal?
If you ever find yourself up here, the only thing you have to do is come for a meal. I'll worry about paying for it. It'd be great to have somebody from that far away come here for me to cook. Well, I guess it'd probably be for more than that, though, right? You would seem a bit silly. Fly halfway around the world just to have some old guy cook you a dinner.
Scott says, I'm struggling but saving my money. I'm not going to give up ever.
Well, that's the key. One of my best friends, when I was a teen, I always thought that he was going to be, you know, really make something of himself. And then after he got out of the military, he pretty much had given up. He didn't really change at all. Still did the same old things. And, excuse me, some girl broke his heart, and then he became an alcoholic. Then he started living on the streets, and sadly, that's where he died. A broken, drunk, on the street. So, you know, don't give up.
Nope. Greg says, thanks, OGIC, really appreciate it. And then he says, hey, you're not some old guy, mate, just bloody delicious. And Lisa told Scott that she would pray for him and that she had to live in her car too for a while.
A big hug. Pat myself on the back. Tom, that was so good. You deserve it, buddy.
Scott said that he wasted so much money on college, he basically got a degree in underwater basket weaving.
Underwater basket weaving. Yeah, that doesn't sound especially useful. Okay. Some little chocolate chips here. Let's fill some cannoli. Where'd I put my... Oh, it's outside. So guys, going to retrieve the cannoli filling. Hopefully we don't have any dead mice in it. We've kind of had a mouse problem, so wouldn't surprise me. Look in the bowl and find a mouse.
Oh no, I put it in the fridge.
I'm just messing. Okay. Let's fill some cannoli.
Scott, or Greg says, LOL, I love it, OG. I want to see you give Madam OGIC a big old hug. That won't ever happen because I won't be on camera. In case you come here.
No, yeah. Yeah, this old guy don't want to be on film or whatever. So... just looking amazing.
Chum chum.
Whoop.
Scott said that he did get a certificate in scuba diving and rock climbing. I'm applying to the volunteer fire department, so I think it might help him.
I sure hope so. I do, buddy. All right. over here. Darn thing. Are you gonna work or not? Okay. Okay, there's the cannoli.
Yum.
We got the pistachio side and the chocolate chip side. Oop. We got mascarpone and ricotta. There you go, Mrs. Old Guy.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, well, it seems appropriate that after manicotti, that cannoli be served for dessert. Tiramisu would have been appropriate as well. All right, here we go, guys. Oh, yum.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's delicious. Mm.
Greg says, "Wow."
Oh, yeah.
He said that you can hug her now, and then he says, "Wow, oh my God, you were right there."
Mm. That is absolutely delicious.
It is. Yum. And that's what Greg just said too. Yum.
Oh, yeah. These are really good. Just about the right size. 2 of these is a good portion. The shell is plenty thin enough. Really, very crispy.
Yep.
Mm. Mm, mm, mm. I appreciate everybody hanging out for this extended stream. Usually I try to be done in a couple of hours, but I knew I would run long tonight just because of the amount of work that I had to put into putting into everything together. And it's my, it's my doing. I mean, there's I'm the one that put these items up for voting. I couldn't pick something easy for dessert.
Scott says, "I missed the last few minutes." Bummer. Greg says, "I'm so happy I found you two, and shorts are hilarious."
Oh, thank you.
T-Bird says, "Now I'm hungry." Steve says, "Are you planning on seeing Val this year?"
I'm sure hoping to. It didn't work last year when we went. He just happened to be going back east on the exact same weekend we were going. So yes, I'm planning on it. We're hoping to stay longer than we were able to the last time we went. And the longer we're able to stay, the bigger the chance is that we'll be able to meet up with Val. So I'm really hoping to do my 1,000 sub live video there so I can get fresh oysters.
Scott says, "Love you, Tom." T-Bird says, have a great rest of your weekend.
Well, you too, T-Bird. Thank you very much for, joining in and watching old guy. Yeah, ran over about 40 minutes, but that's okay. It was worth the wait for me. Those cannoli are just amazing. The manicotti was just as good. Tonight was a treat. And who suggested the manicotti? Miguel, I think.
Okay.
And so I know you're not here, but Miguel, if you're watching on the replay, thank you very much. This was an excellent choice for dinner. We
Yep.
definitely enjoyed it. It was really, really good. Next week we got coming up with the chicken biscuit bake, and so we're gonna go with that. And of course, the dessert will be what you guys vote on the community page. So I will get that posted directly and get them votes coming in. As always, I like to give folks, a few minutes to make last-minute suggestions for dinner, comments or questions. Now's a great time.
Scott said, I wish I had a pizza being delivered. And then he says, take care, Tom, with you and Mrs. Old Guy. You're the best.
Well, thank you, Scott. I appreciate it. Yeah. I guess, they won't deliver a pizza to your car. If you tell them where you're at, I'm in this parking lot, I'm in the whatever color kind of car you're in, and I don't know, just a thought. But you have a good week too. I thank you for hanging out and coming in with old guy, especially if, you're living in the homeless conditions that you are. I do appreciate that very much. I hope it put a little bright spot in your weekend.
Yep. Greg says, thanks for teaching us how to make some homemade pasta. You guys are the best. And he says, sausage rolls.
Okay, Greg, thank you so much for, hanging out with old guy. I appreciate that a whole bunch. Sausage rolls are on the list, and a little bit later this evening, after I've kind of picked up my destroyed kitchen some, I will look online and see what Aussies make for a sausage roll, and then I'll see about putting my twist on it, how close it is or how different it is from an American sausage roll. So I'm interested now. Definitely interested. And that's one good thing one thing that I like about the couple of folks that I got from across the pond is getting suggestions and maybe trying something completely different, something that I've never had before. So please continue to give some, and you don't have to do just one. If you think 2 or 3, 4 things, let Mrs. Old Guy know, because they all get written down, and the more suggestions you make, the more chances there will be of you getting your suggestion up on the wheel. So just so you know. Although if you only have one suggestion, and then it'll for sure be on the wheel.
Lisa said, good night, Tom, from Lisa.
Lisa, good night. Thank you so much for joining me. It's without you guys, this would absolutely be pointless. For new subscribers, thank you so much. My channel would be pointless if it wasn't for you guys. So I appreciate it more than I can say. More than I can say.
Steve said, have a good night. Thank you for the stream. Take care, Mr. and Mrs.
Thank you, Steve. You have a great night. Take care. Have a good week. In fact, all of you have a good week. Like I say, if you can, give back to your community somehow, some way. Volunteer, an hour of your time at a place that's serves food to homeless people, or a clothing bank, just anything. Even if it's a neighbor that needs a hand, go down and help out somebody in your community somehow, some way. I'm going to see you guys next Saturday night with a chicken biscuit bake. In the meantime, y'all take care, and I will see you next Saturday night. Bye.